Hey, what's going on, y'all? Shawn here. Hopefully you're doing well. I been out of the saddle for a bit. Had some family stuff happen, uh health related and whatnot. So been seeing after a family member. So of course that's most important. But anyway, hopefully you guys have been doing well. You've been taking care of yourselves and just being positive, being proactive, being empowered and all that kind of good stuff. This morning, I want to talk about something I saw in an article that came up in my browser, and I should have gotten the title of the article, but I think I have. I definitely have the link, but actually, I can find that very quickly. By the way, if you have any health and fitness questions, make sure that you ask them, put them in the chat. Okay, I'm a certified personal trainer and I will do my best to answer your questions based on my experience as a trainer as well as my experience with my own self. So the title of this article was as follows. It's on NPR's website and it says it's titled Vagus nerve stimulation may tame autoimmune diseases. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with the vagus nerve is a nerve that runs down your spinal cord from your brain to well, it goes all the way down. It's one of those nerves that goes all the way down. Apparently, it has two sides to it, a left and a right. Um, but the vagus nerve is associated with what we call the parasympathetic nervous system, and it's associated with calmness, like helping your body to calm down, helping your body to digest, and whatnot. It's kind of like the opposite of the sympathetic nervous system, which is associated with the part of our nervous system that gets us kind of amped up, the fight or flight. So, in other words, if you have to kind of get, again, like I say, amped up to do something like to run to safety or to fight for your life or safety or whatever, that's sympathetic nervous system. Again, parasympathetic has to do with the vagus nerve. It's the part that kind of calms you down. It's also associated, the vagus nerve is associated a lot with like your exhalation. Like, when you breathe, when you respirate, you inhale and you exhale. And so that exhale part is very much associated with your vagus nerve. That tends to be the calming down of your body. So I wanted to pull out a couple of the things that were in this article because this is something like vagus nerve is something I've kind of studied off and on for many years now, and so that's why this article kind of drew my attention. So basically, what they're saying in this article is that there's like a device that has been made that can be implanted in people with autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune diseases are ones where the immune system actually attacks the body. Stuff like Hashimoto's, multiple sclerosis, lupus, those kinds of things. And so, anyhow, there's apparently some sort of device that can be implanted in the body that can stimulate the vagus nerve with electrical impulses, um, or electrical pulses, I'll say. And apparently, it's shown that it could possibly help with people who deal with different kind of autoimmune diseases, like I say, MS, arthritis, Crohn's, and stuff like that. So there was a study that was done on 242 patients, and it found that 12 weeks of stimulation with this little implanted device significantly reduced the symptoms of whatever autoimmune disease, as well as like the progression of the autoimmune disease. And then, if it was like, for example, I'm guessing like rheumatoid arthritis or something, damage occurred a lot more slowly to the joints. And then, whatever inflammatory proteins, the levels of those went way, way down too. So, let me see. So yeah, So stimulating the vagus nerve again. Remember, the vagus nerve is associated with the relaxation. It's associated with calm. It's associated with respiration, especially the exhale part. It's associated with digestion. It's associated with your resting heart rate. When it's stimulated, it tends to kind of help to bring your heart rate down. Helps to bring, from what I've learned in the past, your blood pressure down. Um, it's the key, according to this other article I pulled out. It's the key to unlocking your relaxation response. And it just so happens that stimulating the vagus nerve can also kind of help to reduce inflammation. Because apparently the thing is, with the sympathetic nervous system, that tends to be associated with the inflammation response. Inflammation, which sometimes we kind of start to think of these days as bad, it's not really bad. It's very natural. It's very necessary. It's kind of like what helps your body whenever it's dealing with like an invader or some sort of something that needs to be pushed out the body. It 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 kind of like helps your immune system to kind of get everything going and whatnot. But in the person with the autoimmune disease, a lot of times that autoimmune I mean that immune system is kind of overactive, so to speak. And so it reacts a whole lot to the point that the body will actually start to hurt itself. Because inflammation short term is fine. It's just that long term inflammation that apparently is like the problem and can cause damage to bodily tissues. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this article is not so much because of like the whole thing about the implantation of a device to stimulate the vagus nerve, but it's because I've heard in the past from past studies that you yourself can stimulate your vagus nerve without, I mean, by means that are already available to you. And what I'm talking about mainly is deep breathing. Okay. So deep breathing, especially like deep breathing, from what I've learned, that tends to emphasize the exhale, slow your breathing down and emphasize the exhale part of your breathing can help to relax you. It can help apparently with this here. In other words, it can help to stimulate your nervous system. I mean, to stimulate your vagus nerve, just like an electrical device can help to stimulate your vagus nerve. So like it's already available to you right now. If you do stuff like just take a few minutes to like breathe more slowly and breathe deeply. Now, that's really cool to me because think about this. One of the things that I've learned that happens in today's world is that we learn to breathe very shallow. We learn because we kind of are so, we tend to be so stressed out. We don't really handle stress like in the best way. And so what happens is we're moving this way, that way, and we tend to breathe from our chest rather than from our belly. So over time we learn to breathe more shallowly, and that's also contributed to by the fact that we tend to be not in very good shape, sitting down all the time, not exercising, and so on and so forth. And so all of these things kind of cause us to be more prone to be in the more sympathetic nervous system kind of um like way of responding, for lack of better words. It makes us more easily amped up, and so these things, it seems like, can also kind of increase our likelihood of having like inflammation problems. So really, this is what this tells me. This is just me kind of putting all this stuff together. What it tells me is that taking the time to relax yourself, taking the time to practice deep breathing, can actually help you it can help to increase your health dramatically. So I mean, here we're talking about stimulating your vagus nerve to kind of help to improve autoimmune stuff. I've definitely heard that it can help to improve blood pressure, especially if it's done over a long time. Even to the point that there is at least one system I know of that guides you through deep breathing. I think it's called respirate or something like that. that can actually be prescribed to people to kind of guide them through deep breathing exercises. Okay. And so that to me, I mean, there's just so many different kind of things. It's just kind of showing that we need to kind of pause, take time to deep breathe, take time to meditate, because we're ruminating over things that we get concerned about and fearful about. All these things kind of teach us to be amped up. But just taking a deep breath, or not just a deep breath, but taking time to breathe deeply, calmly, meditate, meditate on good things. It kind of reminds me of the Bible scripture that says, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, virtuous, whatever, think on those things, and the God of peace will be with you. It's like these are the things that we do to help us to have peace. And it just so happens that physiologically, these kind of things will even help you to improve autoimmune condition. Again, and I'll link to this stuff in the description so you can see what I'm talking about. Always do your own research, but help you to improve your blood pressure, help you to reduce like anxiousness and things like that. I just love this kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff I really like to read about because once again, it's very empowering. Obviously, the medical industry, has like a implanted device you can use to stimulate your vagus nerve. I just want to tell you that you can stimulate your vagus nerve, stimulate your relaxation response by by deep breathing, and by meditation as well. And then when I say meditation, meditation basically involves, kind of being away from all kind of like stimuli, like electronics and things like that, and like on purpose thinking about good things. Taking the time to choose your thoughts and to ruminate on good thoughts. So that's what that is. I'm going to do that today. Okay. So let me know what you think about this stuff. Um, Powerful. Be empowered, y'all. We have so much that we can do for our own health. So please make sure that that's what you do. Okay. All right. Y'all take care.